Welcome to another episode of Management Unplugged by GR. So what do Apple, Amazon, and Google all have in common? I mean, really think about it. They didn't just, sell you a thing. They built a world.
That's a great way to put it, yeah.
And that world is basically what we're calling a platform today. It's not just a product you buy off the shelf. Think of it more like a central hub, a place that connects totally different groups of people directly. So buyers with sellers, maybe, or users with developers.
Right, enabling them to interact, create value together.
Exactly. It's a whole new way of thinking about how a business actually works.
Yeah, and you've really hit on why this shift, this move towards platforms is seen by so many companies as, well, the holy grail.
The holy grail. Okay. Why is that?
Well, think about a traditional product. It often has, a single revenue stream, maybe a couple.
Right. You sell the thing, you get paid.
Exactly. But a platform, it can generate many revenue streams, potentially lots and lots. I mean, just look at the world's most valuable companies.
Yeah.
A huge chunk of them are platform businesses. If you go back to, say, 2015, 5 of the top 10 by market cap, Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Facebook, they were all built on platform models.
Wow, 5 out of 10. That's significant.
It is. And what's really fascinating is that many of them didn't start that way. Amazon was just an online bookstore, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Google was just search before advertising really took off. Apple had the iPod before iTunes, before the App Store. They started with products.
So they evolved. They made the leap, which sounds, huge and probably pretty risky.
It is a massive leap. And honestly, not every company pulls it off, but the ones that do,
They changed the game.
they often redefine entire industries, yeah. So today we figured we'd do a deep dive into this. We've got a kind of 4-step playbook for companies thinking about making this transition.
Okay, a playbook. I like that.
Yeah, and it's packed with some pretty surprising stories and hopefully some really practical insights that might just change how you look at business strategy.
All right, let's get into it. Step 1.
Step 1, and this is absolutely fundamental. You cannot build a platform on shaky ground.
Meaning
Meaning the biggest mistake we see companies make is trying to launch this big platform idea when their core product, their original thing, just isn't strong enough.
okay. So you need a solid foundation first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The first step, the non-negotiable part, is you must start with a defensible product.
Defensible. What does that mean in practice? Like, how do you know if your product is defensible?
Good question. It means a product that's already got a critical mass of loyal customers, people who really value it.
So they stick around.
They stick around because it gives them something unique, something valuable enough that it's hard for them to just switch to a competitor.
Okay. Loyalty and unique value.
And crucially, it needs enough frequent users, people coming back often, because that's what makes the potential platform attractive to others, to those third parties you want to bring in.
Right, because if nobody's there, why would developers or sellers want to join?
Precisely. A platform only works if it creates value for everyone involved, consistently.
Okay, so defensible product first. Can you give us a real-world example? How does this actually play out?
Yeah, let's look at Qihoo 360 technology in China. Their story is a perfect illustration of this first step.
Qihoo 360.
Okay.
Okay, the security software people, right. Back in, 2006, they launched 360 Safeguard, antivirus software.
That's them?
But here's the really interesting part, the bit that sounds counterintuitive. They didn't sell it.
Nope.
They gave it away for free, which makes you think, well, how on earth is that defensible, giving stuff away?
Right. Seems odd. But their software had this really clever feature. It wasn't just about keeping a blacklist of bad programs like most antivirus did.
Okay.
It also built a whitelist of safe programs. Basically, it learned what software was commonly found and trusted on users' computers.
So it learned from the crowd.
Exactly. The more people installed it, the more data Qihoo got for both lists, the good and the bad.
Which made the software itself better.
Smarter, faster, more accurate at spotting viruses. Every single scan, every new user improved the product for everyone else.
That's a powerful feedback loop.
An incredible positive feedback loop. More users meant more data, meant better software, which attracted even more users. That learning effects, that was their defensibility.
So it wasn't just design or logistics, it was the network effect built into the product itself.
Precisely. The product got inherently better with scale. And that massive, super engaged user base, that became their golden asset for building a platform.
Because other companies wanted access to those users.
You got it. Third-party software firms were lining up, willing to pay Qihoo to get their apps in front of all those people. Their free product became a profitable channel.
But Qihoo's story also has a flip side, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A warning about popularity versus defensibility.
It absolutely does. Fast forward to 2014, they launched something called the 360 Android Smart Key.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about this. A little physical gadget you plugged into your phone's earphone jack.
That's the one. They gave away like 1 million of them to college students, and people loved it. Genuinely popular gadget.
Okay, sounds promising.
But it completely failed to become a platform. Total flop in that sense.
Why? If people loved it.
Because it wasn't defensible at all. Competitors like Xiaomi just copied it almost instantly.
Oh, easy to replicate.
Super easy. And then Google went and built similar features right into the Android operating system itself. Game over.
So the big takeaway there for, anyone listening is popularity is nice, but if it's easy to copy, it's not a foundation for a platform. It's just vulnerable.
Critical distinction. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that leads us nicely into the second step, because making this transition, product to platform, it's definitely not like flipping a switch overnight.
Right. It's a process.
It's a process. And successful companies often use what we call a hybrid model.
Hybrid model. Meaning
They operate as both a product company and a platform company at the same time, often for quite a while.
Okay, so you don't just abandon your original product.
Not usually, no. Think about the mindsets. A pure product mindset is often about sort of hoarding value, right?
Yeah, build something unique, protect it, charge for it.
Exactly. Differentiate, build walls, charge a premium. But the platform mindset is almost the opposite. It's about creating and sharing new value.
Connecting those different groups we talked about.
Right. Enabling interactions between users and third parties, and then charging for the access or the transaction or the connection itself.
So the hybrid model lets you kind of explore that platform side without ditching your core customers.
Precisely. Find new ways to create value without betting the whole farm immediately. And sometimes, honestly, this shift kind of happens by accident, or maybe after getting it wrong first. Yeah. Look at Valve.
Valve, the game developer. Half-Life, Counter-Strike, Steam.
Yeah. So their first big hit was Half-Life. Hugely popular game.
Hugely.
So popular that players, hackers really, started creating their own unauthorized mods.
Yeah.
Modifications to the game.
Okay, which probably caused problems.
Oh, yeah. Made the game unstable, buggy. Now, most companies back then, their first reaction would be lawyers. Cease and desist letters everywhere.
Send in the legal eagles.
Right. But Valve, they did something different. They looked at these mods and saw not a threat, but an unmet demand.
Interesting. So instead of fighting,
they hired the guys who made the most popular mod. And they actually encouraged them, helped them turn that mod into a brand new official hit game.
Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike. Total pivot from conflict to collaboration. Genius, really.
That is clever. Embracing the community.
And that collaborative spirit carried over to their software patching tool, Steam.
Ah, Steam, which everyone knows now is this massive game store.
Yeah.
But it didn't start that way.
Not at all. Initially, Steam was just a tool Valve built for themselves, basically to fix all the problems those Half-Life mods were causing, just an internal utility.
Okay.
But Valve's leaders, people like Gabe Newell, they saw something much bigger. They realized Steam could solve a huge pain point for all PC game developers.
Which was?
Distribution. Back then, it was all physical disks. Expensive to produce, slow to ship, took up shelf space. A nightmare.
Right, the whole logistics chain.
Steam offered instant digital distribution, virtually zero marginal cost per copy sold. It went from being a patching tool to a potential marketplace for the entire industry.
And it totally transformed PC gaming.
Absolutely. And look at Valve now. They still make and sell their own great games. Sure, that's the product side.
Still hybrid.
Still hybrid. But a massive chunk of their revenue comes from taking a cut, a percentage, of sales from other developers on the Steam platform.
That's the power of the hybrid model right there.
It really is. And you see similar patterns elsewhere. Think about Lego Mindstorms.
The programmable robots.
Yeah. Initially, a hacker broke their controller code. Lego's first reaction, classic product mindset, send a cease and desist, shut it down.
Check the IP.
Protect the IP. But then they took a step back. They thought, wait a minute, what if this isn't just a toy? What if the Mindstorm software became a platform?
For education, for robotics fans.
Yeah. Exactly. For experimentation, for learning, way beyond just being a toy. That shift in mindset from threat to opportunity led them to embrace a hybrid approach, too.
It seems like there's often this initial resistance, this protective instinct.
Oh, definitely. It raises a really important point about the internal culture, the willingness to change. You saw with Apple in the first iPhone too, remember?
Steve Jobs didn't want third-party apps at first, did he?
He was dead set against it, wanted a completely closed system. Web apps are enough, he said.
Hard to imagine now.
Right. But eventually, Apple, just like Lego, they saw the light. They embraced the platform mindset, opened the App Store.
And the rest is history.
Pretty much. Huge value from their products, sure, but also immense value from taking their cut, 30% from platform sales?
Yeah, sure.
75 billion app downloads by 2014. That's staggering value created by enabling others.
Okay, so step 1, killer defensible product. Step 2, adopt a hybrid model and that platform mindset. What's step 3? Because having the product and the mindset isn't the whole story, right?
Not even close. You've built the foundation. You've got the right way of thinking. But step 3 is critical. You have to rapidly convert your existing product users into active platform users.
Just building it doesn't mean they'll automatically switch over and start using the new platform features?
Exactly. Build it, and they might not come. A great product, a brilliant business model. It can all fall flat if you can't get people to actually use the platform side of things.
So how do you do that? How do you drive that conversion quickly?
There are really 3 key things here. First, the new platform features absolutely have to create enough new, compelling value, something that makes users want to switch or add this new behavior.
Makes sense. It has to be worth their while.
Definitely. Think back to Valve's Steam instant access to games was huge new value. Or Qihoo's Safeguard Enhanced Security, it was massive value. They nailed that.
Well, what happens if you miss the mark on value?
Well, you get failures, like SF Express in China. They're a big parcel delivery company. They launched an e-commerce platform trying to leverage their delivery network. They even set up physical stores where you could try and buy stuff you saw online.
Sounds kind of innovative.
Maybe on paper, but it just didn't attract users. Why? Because it didn't offer enough new value compared to what people already had. Online retailers in China already had pretty good return policies.
So the try and buy wasn't compelling enough to change habits.
Exactly. No real incentive to switch. So adequate new value is number 1. Number 2 is consistency with your brand.
Okay.
The new platform features need to feel like they belong with your core brand promise. Let's go back to Qihoo again.
Their app store.
Their app store was a huge success. Why? Because it was built directly on their core brand promise, security, virus-free software.
Which was a big deal in that market.
A massive deal. So when they offered an app store, users trusted it because it came from Qihoo, the security company. That consistency built trust and drove adoption.
And that created another positive loop, right? More users trust the store, more developers want to be there.
Exactly. And their web browser, their search engine, they also leaned heavily on that core security capability. It all felt connected and trustworthy because of the brand.
Okay, so new value, brand consistency. What's the third element for getting users on board?
The third one is actively involving your users in making the platform better. Create channels, pathways for people both inside and outside the company to enhance the product and the platform itself.
Make them feel like part of it. Co-creators.
Yes. Minecraft is such a brilliant example of this.
The building block game.
Yeah. Started as just a standalone game back in 2009, the creators, Mojang, they released their own updates, sure adding competition, survival mode, that kind of stuff.
Right.
But they also, very strategically, created ways for third-party developers, often just passionate players, to make and even sell their own modifications for the game.
So they opened it up.
They opened it up. And here's a really cool detail. Around 2012, they actually hired some of the most popular modders to officially support the wider community.
Wow, bringing the fans inside.
It made users feel like they weren't just consumers, they were integral to the platform's growth. And Valve did something similar with Steam again.
How so?
They noticed users were trying to trade in-game items amongst themselves, kind of informally. So Valve saw that behavior and built a formal marketplace feature into Steam to support it.
Turning user behavior into another platform feature and revenue stream.
I've got it. Listen to your users, involve them, let them help build it. That drives adoption and loyalty like crazy.
Okay, so we have killer product, hybrid model, get users on board fast.
Yeah.
That sounds like a solid plan. Are we done?
Almost. There's one more crucial step. Because once you actually succeed in making this product to platform jump, guess what happens?
Everyone tries to copy you.
Bingo! Imitation is inevitable. So the fourth step is you have to play defense. You need to actively block those imitators.
How do you do that? Build walls?
Sort of. The key is to identify and then control the critical points, the openings for value creation within your new ecosystem. Where does the money flow? Where are the key interactions? You need to control those choke points.
Okay, control the value points. Is there a story of someone who didn't do this well?
Oh, absolutely. MakerBot is the classic cautionary tale here.
The 3D printer company.
Yeah, they created the first really popular desktop 3D printers. And they also built Thingiverse.
Right, the website where people could share and sell their 3D designs.
Exactly, and Thingiverse was great. It really helped boost the adoption of their printers. People bought the printers because of all the cool designs on Thingiverse.
It's like a good platform strategy so far.
It seemed like it, but here's where it went wrong. MakerBot made a critical mistake.
Uh-oh, what was it?
They used open source designs for their actual printers. And the design files on Thingiverse use standard non-proprietary formats. Meaning it was super easy for competitors to copy their printers. They could literally use the same open source plans. And worse, those competitors' printers could also use all the designs hosted on MakerBot's own Thingiverse platform.
So competitors basically piggybacked on MakerBot's community and platform investment.
Completely. MakerBot failed to build any kind of moat around their innovation. They opened the door, and everyone else walked in and ate their lunch.
So they didn't control the key value points, the printer design, and the file format.
Exactly. Which highlights why playing defense is so crucial. You need strategies to deter that imitation.
Like what? What could MakerBot have done? Or what should companies do?
Well, several things. You could create proprietary standards for your ecosystem, file formats, connection protocols, whatever makes sense.
Make it harder for others to plug in.
Right. Or you could use direct equity investments or even acquisitions to build barriers. Buy key suppliers or potential partners.
Or lock up key players with exclusive deals.
That's another tactic, yeah. Maybe an exclusive contract with a lead-in payment provider, like PayPal, so competitors can't easily process payments on their rival platforms.
Okay, so be proactive about defense. Who did this well?
Let's go back to Qihoo one last time. They're a great positive example here.
How do they play defense?
Well, remember, they did allow third-party apps on their platform, their app store. That was open.
Right.
But they kept tight control over their own web browser and the default homepage within it. That's where they captured huge advertising value.
Control the gateway to the web for their users.
Exactly. And they also developed their own search engine, which they then heavily promoted through their browser, capturing search advertising revenue too. They were very smart about identifying and controlling those key revenue-generating points in their ecosystem.
So they let others play in the sandbox, but they owned the sandbox and the entrance gate.
That's a good way to think about it. They proactively protected their core value streams while still fostering an ecosystem.
Okay, this is super helpful. Let's quickly recap those 4 steps then. It feels like a really practical framework.
Yeah, absolutely. So step 1, start with a killer, truly defensible product. Don't even think about platform until you have that.
Got it. Step 2.
Embrace the hybrid model. Operate as both product and platform, and crucially, adopt that platform mindset focused on creating and sharing value.
Right. Step 3.
Get your existing users on board fast. Convert them into active platform participants by offering real new value, staying true to your brand, and involving them in improvements.
And finally, step 4.
Play defense. Anticipate imitation, identify the critical value points in your ecosystem, and take steps to control them and block competitors.
Killer product, hybrid mindset, fast conversion, strong defense. Got it.
It really is a continuous game, though, and we're seeing companies grapple with this right now. Take Microsoft Outlook, for instance.
Outlook. Interesting. How do they fit into this?
Well, think about it. Outlook definitely has step 1 covered, right? A massive user base, critical mass.
For sure. Millions of users.
And it has some defensibility. It's bundled with Office. It integrates with Microsoft Exchange. It's sticky for many businesses.
Okay. Defensible product. Check.
And Microsoft as a company, they certainly have a long history of both product thinking and platform thinking. They understand both sides.
Right. Windows, Office, or products. Azure, Xbox Live, or platforms. They get the hybrid idea.
They do. So the really interesting questions for Outlook now revolve around steps 3 and 4, conversion and defense.
Meaning?
Well, they've started adding platform-like features, right? Integrating services like Uber, Yelp, Evernote directly into the Outlook interface.
Yeah, I've seen some of that. Book a ride from your calendar event, that kind of thing.
Exactly. But the big question is is that enough new value? Is booking an Uber from Outlook compelling enough to really drive rapid user adoption and change people's habits?
Especially when those services, Uber, Yelp, are already popular standalone apps people are used to using separately.
Precisely. Is the integration value high enough? That's the conversion challenge.
And what about defense? Step 4.
Even if they do drive conversion, what's stopping Apple Mail or Google's Gmail from just copying the idea?
Good point. Especially on mobile, where Outlook maybe isn't as dominant. Apple and Google control those mobile platforms.
Exactly. They could potentially integrate similar services even more deeply into their native mail apps. Microsoft has made some defensive moves, like acquiring the To-Do app Wunderlist a while back, maybe partly to prevent competitors from partnering with them.
Trying to lock up potential partners.
Yeah. But is acquiring a few apps enough to truly block imitation from giants like Apple and Google? It's a really tough defensive challenge.
So Outlook is kind of a live case study for this whole playbook right now. Will they succeed?
It's definitely one to watch, this deep dive into platform transitions. It's complex, it can be treacherous. And the choices companies like Microsoft are making right now about conversion, about value, about defense, those choices will really determine whether they successfully navigate this shift or not. It's a constantly evolving game.
A fascinating strategic puzzle. Lots to think about there.
Always more to unpack.
See you later. Not bad.